All right, hey yo, thank you for joining me. We just got information about our Conquest today. It's going to have, my ship from my SWO tour days. It's going to be piloted by Malgus. It is the Fury Interceptor. And so, the Feats just came out. They were data mined today as well. I did not take a look at the discs, so I'm just going to go over what I plan on using and what I'm hopeful for the disc sets. There's really only two discs that I really need in order to kind of double dip into a lot of these feats to help make them a little bit easier. And so I just want to shout out Gold Praetorian, Gabberpow. You guys have been fantastic in helping me get these kind of planned out and making me want to make this video and get it out there. So, first off, the first sector, the first global feat that we have is unaligned force users. As you can see, one of the easiest ways to do that is actually going to be the Inquisitors. Now, not everybody has their Inquisitors geared up, so again, I just want to preface, this is how I plan to do it. If it gives you ideas, if it makes you think about, oh, maybe I can gear up this squad and get them ready, great, go for it. But that's my Inquisitor team that I plan on using, the basic Inquisitor team that I plan on using for most situations here. There's a purge feat that we'll talk about later. There's no tanks. There's armor shred. So there's a couple of situations where we're going to be able to double dip in sector feats with this team. And so we'll talk about that though. Tuscans, there's really no way around this. To win 20 battles with Tuscans, that's not terrible if you think about it, if you get the right discs and things like that. So I'm starting to gear up my Tuscans. I'll start farming them. Hopefully by the second or third one, this will be an easy one for me to complete. The goal that I always have is to try to complete as many, if not all, in order to get close. That's what I end up having to do with Scythe quite often, because I'm not very clean. I really don't want to go back and make sure that I have 3-starred every battle in every sector. So I know that you can miss some, but the goal here is to get all of them done. So again, maybe with some disc help, I'll be able to get them this time. Trying to gear them up. Got a couple Zetas on them. We'll see how it goes. We'll go ahead and keep on keeping on and see if we can keep on moving with that. The next one is going to be Marin, Mother Talzin, and Daka. You got to win, how many times with that? Let's see, 40 times with that. And so we're going to lean heavily on my Galactic Legends. I always do in these situations. There's actually a direct call out in a lot of these boss battle feats, for not using a GL. And I feel personally affronted by that because they're pretty much the bread and butter of how I get through a lot of these. But we can discuss that after as well, because there are other teams out there that can hold their own. Sith Empire, for example. But so the plan here is that they don't even have to survive. They just have to be there when you start the battle. And so using those other 2 slots, picking teams that you can either solo or beat with just those 2, I think is going to be the most efficient way to move through. Obviously, if you have a nice sister team that can hold its own, you don't even have to worry about that. Now, there's also a purge feat later, a plague feat later. Really, the best thing for that is Night Sisters, a full Night Sister team. Again, if you're like me and you don't have a really great Night Sister team, you can hope for some good discs and maybe some good RNG, maybe finding the right team, It is what it is. Same thing here. The 000 and BT1. This is basically what I did in the last runs that we had, where we had to carry them through. I just put them with, last time we had to do C-3PO and R2-D2 as well, and I just put the 4 of them on with either Sith Eternal or with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and I just moved through and got stuff done. Both of them are strong enough to carry a team by themselves. Here they each get help, because you only have to carry the 2 spots there. For Cal kills, I have two different variants on this, and that's simply because if there's a voluntary Vanguard disc, you can take that and it mitigates your need for Watt. You can take Watt and let him rest on the bench, right? If we don't have access to that, or if you haven't found it, you can still use this to get your Cal kills. Cal does not have to be terribly strong, right? Because you're going to be using the Jedi Master Luke ability to call him in, and it's going to deal damage based off of Jedi Master Luke's protection, max protection. So if you're modded him for speed and protection, like I do, oftentimes you'll be able to just call him in and he'll get the kill shot on a lot of things, just naturally from doing that. Basilishan's in there just to call Cal in. She also has that ability block, which is not bad. Has a stun. Hermit Yoda is there for plenty of things. Foresight. Again, some of these things you'll need done in other instances in other sectors. Some feats require ability blocks. Some of them require foresight. So if you can have voluntary Vanguard, you can plug in another Jedi. I put in Jolee. Jolee's fantastic because he can actually call in Cal a second time as well. You really can't beat that. Plus, you'll be healing Cal. I think in this situation, I'll be modding Cal for health. Did I mod him at all yet? Let me take a quick look. No, not at all yet. That's fine. So I will do that pretty soon here. Anyways, so that's that. That's how I plan on getting those Cal Kestis kills. I'm not going to bother putting gear in Siri. Cal's one of those guys that I like, so I don't mind putting the gear in him. I'm selective that way. Those who know me are probably surprised I even have any Jedi at all. Okay, Sector 1. Jedi kills, blind, and, well, that's evasion down. So here in Sector 1, we have just a whole bunch of little things here. And I'm trying to get them all done as quickly as I can here. So 50 kills with Jedi units. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to win with those. You can get 4 kills, wait for the timeout, and then keep going, keep it on. And it still counts. You just have to get the kill. You don't have to win. Evasion down on this team, you've got Obi-Wan, the old men. You have 3PO and Chewie. Of course, they're great for evasion down. In the other one, you still have other... Okay, so again, this is another one where you have voluntary Vanguard. Will free up a spot. Will free up your Watt for you, which is great, especially if you are using him with Sith Eternal to help carry other people. Secret intel. Really not too many, cheese methods here. Most people are going to have better resistance than I do. This is going to get it done for you, right? If you have your resistance built up. BB-8's ability, when you give somebody secret intel and they use a special ability, they give secret intel to somebody else. So in the second situation here, which will probably be how I try to handle it in most against most teams, is try to get secret intel on, say, Vader, have a Merciless Massacre, Force Crush, Culling Blade. He's going to be spreading the whole thing is about spreading the secret intel as fast as you can. Again, you don't have to win. So that also helps you in the process of keeping your people fresh for when you do want to continue forward. So what I'll do is first day, I'll basically just go gung-ho. I'm going to try to get to the end of it as quick as possible and then loop back to complete all of the feats. If I can find low-hanging fruit and get them done before that, like for example, up here, with Cal, right? An AoE from a strong unit is going to take him out, right? He's just not ready. Right, I don't have the gear on him, don't even have the stars, right? So in that situation, I'm going to be looking for something like a Geonosian Brood Alpha, right? He's not going to get his AoE off before I get the ability block. Well, not usually. Okay, so I shouldn't say that because sometimes they are over-prepared out of their minds. But typically I'll be able to get an ability block off before we take that AoE. Or if you find a Phoenix squad that doesn't have a Sabine in it, right, then you're sitting pretty good. All right. So again, hitting most of them, Jedi kills, blind, evasion down, right? Easily done with those top two teams, right? And then secret intel is the only other one. Again, you don't even have to complete a single battle to get any of those done. Sector 2, no attackers. This is one of my favorite no attacker teams, period, honestly. And I'm going to talk about that second disc we're going to be looking for, Zealous Ambition. Zealous Ambition is going to take so many of these out of the park. I mean, you're just... Darth Treya ends up one-shotting bosses with Zealous Ambition. Again, mine's Relic 7, modded, whatever. But Zealous Ambition is incredibly strong, and I know it works for other characters. Dash, for example, because we do use him in another one of the lineups here. So R2-D2 takes big advantage of that. I've had him go through and light the entire enemy team on fire, and I expected them to last, and they don't. I mean, he just absolutely one-shots the whole team somehow, and he's just the coolest little thing around at that point. I'm jumping up and down. So no attackers is fantastic. This works against Grievous teams. This works against Padme teams. This works against, obviously, everything it's supposed to work against. Mothma, bugs, etc. Imperial troopers, it actually does pretty well against. So that no attackers is pretty good for moving through the sector. Evade, obviously, Maul is needed for Sith Eternal anyways, so you might as well have the Zeta on Maul. It's going to give you the ability to have everybody stealth, evade. We have a lot of evasion and stealth already built into Sith Assassin and Darth Talon. Sith Eternal Emperor, basically you choose something that Sith Eternal Emperor can beat by himself, and you're going to get through it anyways. Or same with Malak. There's plenty of teams Malak can beat by himself. Again, these things can only be enhanced by discs. Plague, Mother Talzin is going to be your best bet for getting Plague done. So I threw the Zeta on Marion. She's one of those characters that I love anyways. She's definitely somebody I'll be working on. Plus, the Night Sisters really needed it. And then the rest is just plain basic Night Sister stuff. Again, in the right matchups, right discs, you might be able to get that done. So that counts. Again, that's double dipping. You've got the 3 that you need. You got your Plague. Next one is Health Steal. This is fantastic. You've got 2 versions of Health Steal here. You've got Emperor Palpatine special. His second special gives everybody Health Steal. Visas, her verse special, gives everybody Health Steal. It's fantastic. The only problem I run into, and maybe you won't run into this, is that I find that I end up killing people before I can get too many of those off. So sometimes I end up having to do 4 battles with this team to get the 20 health steal. But again, health steal, not bad. Really the big pain for this one is going to be Plague. If you take that evade one against, say, bugs, you're going to get your 100 evades in 2 battles. And now you do have to win the evade ones, of course. Alright, Sector 3. So, droid kills, and of course, Foresight is another one that's in there. Foresight 60 times, defeat 50 enemies or droid units. Now, again, you don't have to win these. It's beneficial, of course, but you don't have to. And the same thing goes here. So, in those last 2 spots, I've got R2-D2, 3PO, and Chewie. If you can get that Zealous Ambition disc that I was talking about, this is going to help you get these kills done. But for the most part, you're going to be relying on Jedi Master Luke to get those kills anyways. His leadership special, that him and Hermit Yoda will be able to call them in and have them do major damage. Now, for the Foresight, I do have my Grandmaster Yoda in there. Again, 1 AoE, that dude is gone. Out. So it is beneficial if you do have a stronger Jedi Master Yoda than I do, and I'm sure most people do. He's not a bad character. He's just a filthy Jedi, so I don't put any gear in his ass. Anyways, momentum. Again, I don't really think there's any way around this. It's gonna have to be Tuskens. Now, you can double dip with the global one, of course, and so yeah, get working on your Tuscans, I guess, if you really want to get all of these done. Again, this ship is very important to me. I know it's very important to a lot of other people in the community. Not just because it's going to be a top meta ship, but because Malgus is an amazing character, unless you're trying to date him, of course. In that last one there, we've got my Inquisitors making another appearance, Purge and Foresight. Purge, obviously, they spread it like wildfire, right? Foresight, you've got Seventh Sister in there. Every time she uses her heal, if an enemy has Purge, you're going to give the whole team Foresight. That's how I'm actually going to do it, right? If I get my droid kills done with that first team, or even the second team, I'm going to finish with that Foresight, using that. They're just better geared, probably better modded, if I'm being honest. And so that's how I plan on doing it. I'm hopeful that I might grab a couple videos of that and show how quickly I get that Foresight in, because, you know, if you heal 3 times in a match, and that's not hard to do, to elongate a match for 3 heals, you're looking at 15 Foresight. And since you need 60 of them, that's 4 matches. It's pretty good. Next is Sector 4, Imperial Troopers. There's a couple of other ways to get around this. Obviously, Imperial Troopers are great as long as you go first. If you've got an overprepared 19 team, you're not going to go first. It's just not going to happen. But if you find somebody that you're able to get in front of, and you can get that train rolling, they're great to work with. And obviously there are probably some discs out there that will help that team even more. Other options you have, you can always throw in like Emperor Palpatine, Mara Jade, and a couple of them. Get a turn meter train rolling that way instead, using debuffs. There's also what you can do is do like if you've got a Bugs or a Mon Mothma team, you drop Traya and Scion, and then 3 Imperial Troopers. The Bugs will take a whole bunch of turns and wear themselves down real low. You hit them with a couple AoEs with your troopers, and you walk out there with a couple of kills, maybe. Again, you don't have to win those battles. You just got to get the Imperial Trooper kills. Ability block. I talked about this a little bit already. Ability blocks. You've got a mass one on Obi-Wan. You've got a mass one on Jedi Master Luke. You've got Bastila Shan on her basic. We'll give you one. So, ability blocks come pretty quickly for the Jedi. It's why they are as relevant as they are against some of the other Galactic Legends, because that's really the biggest way to kill a Galactic Legend is to prevent them from using their abilities. But I'm going to prefer myself to use the ability block from my Sith Eternal Emperor team. Bastila Shan Fallen has one on her basic. Darth Talon has one on her basic. Count Dooku has one on his basic. So you call in a mass assist, you're talking about 3 possible ability blocks landing on somebody in 1 turn. Again, you don't have to win that battle, but look at my Sith, they're obviously going to. But in all seriousness, you don't have to win that battle, but it's very likely that you will. Now, stealth, you can also give, you can also bring back that Darth Maul team. Let them get a chance up here. The reason I like this for stealth and ability block is because Darth Talon has her own stealth on her second. Count Dooku has his own stealth on his third. So they can hide for pretty much as they want. You only have to gain it 40 times. So again, if you're going for 60 ability blocks, 40 stealths really aren't that far-fetched, I think. Then you have to win 14 battles with rebel units. Is there a better team than CLS? I don't think so. I don't think so, as far as rebels go. You could make an argument that, what's his face? Fish face. Radis. Radis is arguably going to be a better, more fun rebel team. Definitely seen that on my girlfriend's account. She loves her Admiral Radis team. But as far as I can tell, man, rebels are... It begins and ends with CLS. I don't see anything else really usurping that 58%. Pretty good. Sector 5, here we go. Again, here's the Inquisitors again. Now, just to show the flexibility of the Inquisitors, you actually don't even need to have Grand Inquisitor in the lead slot, right? If you're going against a gas, if you don't have Grand Inquisitor, for example, if you're going against a gas, 5th Brother in that lead slot will do just fine. Seventh Sister in that lead, especially with her Zeta, will do just fine. You really don't need Grand Inquisitor if you don't have him, and so there is some flexibility here. If you don't have Grand Inquisitor, it's not going to be as easy to get the no tank feature with that. So that is one thing that I will concede in this situation. So this is what I plan on using in this sector. Is not going to use the Ninth Sister because I don't want to use the tank, but this is going to get your Inquisitor kills. You need 50 of them. Again, don't have to win the battles, just got to get the kills. Armor shreds, you can stack them pretty quickly with Eighth Brother. This ability spreads purge pretty quick as long as the enemy doesn't dispel themselves. And so you can stack a whole bunch of purge on everybody and then just wait for Eighth Brother to start stacking the armor shreds. Other options for armor shred, I usually go with gas. I've got him relegate anyways. So that's a pretty good one, pretty safe bet. You're going to get 1 or 2 off of each match, and again, you don't have to win. Just send gas in by himself or with a 1-5-0 first. Let him take his freebie turn, and you'll get 1 armor shred. It's a big waste of energy. Obviously, you're not going to be moving through. If you can find a nice sister team, maybe you're looking at soloing it with that gas. That is something I have done in the past, but for the most part, you're going to get 1 or 2 from a match. Here with the Inquisitors, you're probably, if you play it right and you're able to draw it out, and some of those teams in Sector 5 are going to be pretty tough. If you're able to draw it out, I think you could probably get 3 or 4 from a single match. Again, I'll try to get a video of that. Other options for no tanks. Again, I lean on my Galactic Legends. Probably too much. No, maybe too much. Anyways, so Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Lord Vader, these guys can solo teams. You're going to have these other guys here just to kind of support them, get some work in. But these two can solo teams. You don't have to worry about much. You got to sit the entire team in there. And I guarantee by Sector 5 you'll start seeing them. Throw in your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. That'll work. You don't need a tank for those. Defense up. Now this one is one that I stole from Celiac Sarah. If you haven't seen her videos, that's kind of what I'm trying to replace here. Is I know that she's not going to make one, and so I wanted to. Again, this is just to help out those of us who are interested. Defense up. I've got Clone Wars Chewbacca on his leadership. He gives everybody defense up when they take hits. Sith Empire Trooper is going to start off with defense up. Obi-Wan Old Ben, when he uses his taunt, gives himself defense up. Royal Guard gives himself defense up. Every time you hit Savage Opress, he gives himself defense up, even without that. So, there's definitely some great options there that you can put, but those are the 4 tanks I put in there. Again, don't have to win it, just have to get the defense up, and this gets it in one go. Boss feats. So a lot of them are kind of repetitive, so I really didn't need to make too much effort here. Again, there's in the bosses, it looks like every zone, not every zone. Let's see, so in Sector 1, Sector 3, and Sector 5, you do not want to use a Galactic Legend. Kind of rude, man. Kind of rude, if I'm being honest. But in these situations, a lot of them have that win without any Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force users. And again, Celiac Sarah gave me this idea. I put the Zeta on on Beskar Mandalorian, and it's worked every single. I don't know why, but this thing just absolutely manhandles things. But I use it sparingly because Han Solo and Chewie are usable in a lot of other places too. Zealous Ambition is only going to make this that much better because Dash with 2 Zealous Ambition, I was using his AoE and just cleaning out teams in one go. It was amazing. But now in that last slot, you can also put whoever you need to survive. So if you in Sector 1 you need a T3M4, you put T3M4 in that last slot, and it helps. This team beats people before they usually get to go. So he'll survive doing that. There's a couple with like Cad Bane or Rosing surviving. If you've got better bounty hunters, you don't even need me to say anything about that. But I rely heavily in those situations on Jedi Master Luke. Again, Voluntary Vanguard, you can worry about not having one of those slots taken up by Watt. But yeah, keeping everybody else alive is pretty much what Jedi Master Luke does. You can also have Jedi Knight Luke in there for the big stuns, and that will help you outpace anybody that you're going against anyways. Let's see. Sector 2, you have Sana surviving. Again, Jedi Force, unaligned Force user, not in the mix. I don't think I have Sana up enough that I would be comfortable with that. I might. Now, what's great about that is in that last slot, trying to get somebody to survive. A lot of the times, you'll finish the battle before the enemy gets to take a turn, and then that person survives. So we will definitely try it, see how it goes. I will let you guys know. Boba Fett, side of Django surviving in Sector 3, Dr. Aphra surviving in Sector 3 as well. I don't have either of those, but I can tell you right now, no Force Survivor. That's gonna help you with those. Siri, I have her 3 stars, level 50, Gear 1. I'll put her in there, and we'll see if we can get her to survive there in Sector 4. This other team, Malgus Assassin. So Malgus and Sith Assassin surviving. I'm very fortunate to have had the wisdom to Relic 7 my Sith Assassin. I love that Sith fighter ship. It is so good. Talk about a ship that cleans house. I've talked about that, and other people have talked about that. But I'm pretty sure this team will get it done, especially based off of what I can get for discs. Darth Revan goes, stun, puts fear in everybody, and I'm pretty sure I can get away running away with that one. In Sector 5, Cal Kestis is surviving. Again, we'll try it in that top one. That means you'll have to play that one twice because he is an online Force user. And then Admiral Trench. Again, I don't have Trench. And then the next one is One Without a Galactic Legend. Okay. So, we've discussed it a little bit. Obviously, if you guys have any of your own ideas, I'd love to hear them. Either reach out to me on Discord, or you can drop them in the comments here, say anything you want. If you think I'm an idiot, if you think none of this will work, then absolutely say so. If it does work, I will shoot a video for you and send it, and you can let me know what you think. But yeah, this is how I intend to complete as many of these feats as possible. I am pretty desperate for that red crate. Malgus would absolutely adore getting his ship here. Mine's already Relic 9. He's ready to go. He's ready to pilot that thing. So, yeah. A little bit longer video today, but I hope you guys enjoy it, whether you do or don't. I really want to thank you for hanging out with me, spending the time to listen to me ramble, even if it's just into the void. Thank you so much.